What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Detroit Love, with another video. What's going on, everybody? I have some exciting news. Obviously, it's been a lot of pinball going on. And tonight at 8 o'clock, in just a half an hour, there's going to be a lot of news about Wonderland. But I wanted to share some things I have been doing regarding pinball that's been very interesting. So the very first thing is I watched this movie on Hulu, and it's a very interesting movie. It's called Pinball, The Man Who Saved the Game. And so that's a pretty good movie if you guys are interested. As you guys, most of you guys know, pinball was considered gambling, and they just outlawed it. They said you cannot play this game called pinball because it was a game of chance, and especially in New York and a lot of the major cities, they banned it. They would raid, any establishment that had pinball machines, and just go in and just smash them up, and it was just ridiculous. But that's what people with power sometimes do, abuse their power, and it don't always make sense. So if you're interested in that, it's available in a few different sources to be streamed. Sometimes you have to rent it like on Prime, but if you have Hulu, then you can watch it for the cost of your monthly subscription. So it was made in 2022, a biographical comedy drama. No big stars that you would recognize face. It stars Mike Faist and as Roger Sharpe, Crystal Reed as Ellen, and it's kind of a love story / the background behind the Supreme Court win that legitimized the game of pinball. So very interesting, definitely worth watching if you have any interest in pinball. So definitely go check that out. The next pinball information I wanted to talk about. What's going on, Jason, little alien? Just getting in some pinball information here tonight. I know we got the big reveal from Wonderland Amusements. But so definitely check out the movie, Pinball the movie. Great watch. And then Switch, pinball on Switch. I've always enjoyed how well it played on the Switch, but the platform just wasn't, just holding in your hand just is not ideal for me. And so earlier last week, I did a video hooking my Switch up to my At Games Legends Pinball, and so I've been really enjoying it that way. I still have I have a open project with my PC, and then I don't always want to take up and use my PC for my pinball. I have my light guns on my PC, so I'm learning that while my PC can do all these things, my PC is just not always available for all these things. So if I can get these things off of my computer and onto a dedicated box of some sort, that would be much better, and at least to have the option to do so. And so I've been looking at those ways to do that. So I've really been enjoying some Pinball FX3. But I've been interested in the Star Wars Pinball on Switch. It's like $30 though. I believe it's 3 tables. So yes, it's Masters of the Force, Han Solo, and the Starfighter Assault. So that's on my wish list. I do want to check that out. I never really messed with Zen Studios FX. I've always done FX3. So I may play around with some of the FX tables and see what they have over there, because I just haven't dealt with it at all. So I'm liking to play pinball on the Switch, but I came across this very unique way to do so. And let me share. So something I just picked up the other day, and I haven't received it yet. It just shipped today. So let me present, share screen. We'll just share the screen. So there's a company called Stellar Pinball. Stellar-pinball.com is their website. And they make this incredible little display piece. So they have this pinball. They have two pinball tables, basically the same thing. It's called the actual table is called Shoot for the Moon. So let's just click on one of these things. Let's go to shop or store. So Moonshot Supernova. So they have two. They have the Nebula edition and the Supernova edition. What up, B Kirby? So it's basically a display piece. So they're like New Wave Toys is they have their black hole pinball table that's coming out. This is a display piece, and that's what this is here. So the cheaper version is no lights, no sounds, no nothing. It's just a display piece. But the neat thing about it is you can swap out the play field that's here. It's a static. All this stuff is static, and you can swap this out and put your switch in there, and then it becomes a full-fledged miniature 1/5 scale pinball table that you get to play the games, the pinball tables that are on your switch. So it's just a pretty fantastic idea. And it's all mechanical. There's nothing, you put your Joy-Cons inside the shell of this thing, and every button that you press for the flippers, they just press the buttons on your Joy-Cons. They have this little nudge you can kind of see at the bottom of this under the table on both sides. This little plate that you can tap, and they'll nudge. Oh, what's going on, Gotham City? You can nudge the ball because with the switch, the left controller, the thumb on the left is the nudge. If you nudge it to the left or nudge it to the right, so they have this plate here that you can nudge it from either side, and it'll nudge the table. So really, really, really nice setup. And so this version here, you see it has like the all the tags. I don't know why I can't get this thing bigger, but you can go to their website and check it out. Let me just copy that into the notes here. And so with this version, it's without the switch in there. It's just a display piece that doesn't have any lights. It's just static. But they've done a fantastic job with the design of this. Cool Toy did a video about 10 months ago, and that's the only video that I see on this project. And I'm not going to play the sound. You can go and check out his video later to get all the details. But this thing is 3D printed, and it just looks incredible. Again, it's a display piece that will look great, but it actually plays pinball on your Nintendo Switch. I'm sorry, on your Nintendo Switch. So the version I bought is the Supernova, which has lights and is illuminated when you're not playing with your Switch, or you have the ability to turn the lights on and turn the lights off. And I think it takes like 4 AA batteries or AAA batteries, whatever the case is. And it will light up the play field, will light up the back glass, light up the DMD, and it just looks incredible. So, and it's 1/5 scale. So I'm wondering how that's going to look next to my New Wave Toys setup right behind me. So I'm super excited about this. It's going to be coming in shortly. I just got the notice today that it's shipped. So I'm pretty excited about this. What do you guys think about this? Now this is their own creation. So this is not based off any real pinball table. It's strictly designed by these guys. It's a father and son team out in Utah. Funny thing, I'm going to be out in Salt Lake City, Utah this year for the first time. So I might see if I can hook up with these guys. But they did a fantastic job with this thing. And wait till you see the shipping. If you think that New Wave Toys does a great job with their shipping, their boxes, these guys did a fantastic job with the packaging. They'll make it look like it is, the way you would receive a real pinball machine. And it's fully assembled when you receive it. You have this little pallet here that the box is strapped to, and it comes fully assembled, except you just have to put the legs on to the pinball table. So it is pretty doggone slick. So I can't wait to get this. I'm just excited. And again, you can play your Switch games on it when it's not a display piece. So you see that it behaves and folds down just like a real pinball table. They have vents in here so that your Switch doesn't overheat. You can even adjust. They give you the tool to adjust the leg height, even the feet on this thing. These guys have thought about everything with this thing. But again, and in this video, Cool Toy has a Twilight Zone one that they did that they don't have a license. They're hoping to be able to license these things and be able to make tables that we enjoy, and then you'll be able to put your Switch in there and have it look like the table that you like. So I'm hoping that they're able to get some licensing done. But I think even this Moonshot one looks pretty cool. So definitely check out Cool Toys. I'll put all the links I'll put all the links in the description later for people to watch this later. But definitely check this out. I ordered this. You see, it's all mechanical. Nothing in here is for the Switch to work. Is just all based on these little gadgets inside of here. You see the Joy-Cons are just stuck in there, and then these buttons, when you press them, they will press the appropriate button for the pinball to be played. So they did a fantastic job with this thing. So, all right, so that was Moonshot, the Supernova edition by Stellar Pinball, 1/5 scale illuminated pinball machine designed for the Nintendo Switch. Backlit playfield, DMD, extra ball, start buttons are all lit up. Check it out. Stellar-pinball.com. All right, and so the next pinball thing that I want to talk about is my At Games project. Some of you know years ago, it's probably like 4 years ago, I bought this back glass from Bobby Vu. We had a lot of difficulty with this thing. I spent a lot of money getting this thing to me. The way Bobby did it, you had to ship him your original At Games back glass, and he would convert it into his thing. Well, when I shipped it to him, I thought I packed it well, but the FedEx has just smashed it to smithereens. So I ended up having to buy another back glass from At Games for $200, ship that out to Bobby, and then Bobby received that and created the back glass for me, and then he shipped it up very well, but even that came with some damage. So, and FedEx both times, and I really should have did a claim and got some money from FedEx, because they really ruined both pieces coming and going. And then it's just sat there. I never was able to get the bibs board set up. And so the table just sat there. And then when I moved my At Games table over here to put it in the spot next to the PC so I can be able to hook everything up to it, the plunger stopped working. And I worked with At Games for a little bit. They never could get it working. But I do have the controller add-on, so I was able to play pinballs with the joystick as the plunger as opposed to the plunger. So this year I am motivated finally by playing the Switch on the At Games again. I love the size of the screen. It plays well. I want to get pinball set up on this device, and so that's going to be my project. And so I'm definitely checking out Wagner's Talks blog, and I got to get through there. My cable that connects to the controls is either not the right one. I'm sure I bought the right one years ago, but it's not working. It keeps getting an error. It gets connected and then disconnects, so it's very frustrating. So I'm gonna order the one that Wagner shows, and hopefully it's not the same thing I already have, and it still doesn't work. But I have like probably almost 24 USB devices plugged into my computer, hard drives, cameras, laser light guns, speakers, mice. It's tons of things. It's got to be 24 easily. So I am going to disconnect everything that I can and see if I can get this going and see if it's some conflict with one of those devices. So that's going to be my project for this year, is to get that done. Even if the summer comes, I'm going to have to keep that on the radar to get that done. So that's going to be a project. And so there's a couple of things I'm thinking about doing. Do I use my PC here? And I'm also even considering just going away with at games, just gutting it out completely and just taking everything from my toy shock machine, the PC that's there, and just transplanting it into my at games cabinet. And maybe I can keep everything else in there, but it's going to be maybe tight, but we'll see. So that's what I'm contemplating. Do I just put in a PC into my 4K? I'm not my 4K, my ALP HD, and just have that option without even fussing about OTG, and then still have the ability to switch on the actual at games later if I wanted to. So that's my contemplation there. So that's going to be a huge project for me. And then the final thing is just Wonderland Amusement. So P-Dubs, those guys are doing a live show in just about 12 minutes. And so Wonderland is definitely on my radar with the Alice Goes to Wonderland pinball. So that's where, because I just don't have the room, because my wife keeps creeping in. She does gardening. She's got a grow house over there. I don't know if you can see a glow coming from that way there. She's growing plants and starter plants and things like that. Let me stop this. So to make room for this Wonderland, Alice Goes to Wonderland PC, that's what I'm thinking about, combining the Toy Shock into this at games ALP, and that'll give me room right where the other pinball table is. I could put the Wonderland Amusement pinball there. So I'll still have two pinballs instead of having the Toy Shock modified for my VPX and the at games here with a switch or something. I can get my PC transplanted into my at games cabinet, get the Wonderland for the spot where the Toy Shock is now, get my switch into a new home with this Supernova, and so that's the plan I have for my pinball. So I'm super excited for pinball this year. I got a lot of pinball based things that's going on. I'm enjoying playing Switch on the ALP, but I want to get VPX. I think FX3 is a great tool that's easy to install. It has some techie type things with the back glass when you have multiple glasses, multiple screens. Obviously, you don't have the multiple screens with the Switch. I like having the multiple screens. So I am going to work with the Vibs board and see if I can get that thing working as a third. It'd be a third monitor on here. If that's not the case, then I'm probably just going to just replace the at games and just store it somewhere else for later and just put a third monitor there. So I really have to think about what the plan is going to be for that. But I think Wagner's blog here has a lot of good information for anybody that hadn't set up their ALP for the OTG, FX3, getting the buttons to work, utilizing the joy to key. He has everything in this very detailed blog that talks about everything with that. So if you kind of gun shy, and I'm a techie, and some of the stuff is just like, whoo, I don't want to deal with that today. You know what I mean? So I can just imagine people who aren't techie, people that tries to tackle these projects, to get VPX running on the PC. I did it years ago for my toy shop and have not touched it because that's been working fine. I've only added maybe 1 or 2 tables since then. So you really have to just shift your brains to get back into that world and to just go through everything it takes to get VPX running. I know they have those tools. I can't think of the name of the tool right now, but they have a tool that allows you to install it much easier than I had to do to get it on the toy shop. But I'm not going to start from scratch. That thing's working fine. I don't have like the pin popper and things like that, and I really don't care about that. That stuff wasn't available on the pinballs that I enjoy and like anyway. But if I stick with this PC, then I might play with pin popper, pin popper, whatever it's called. Let me see what you're saying here, Jason. Hope that OTG fix come along soon. Yeah, see, I don't have an issue with mine. I think that's just is that just a 4K people, the 4K ALP 4K with the OTG, or did people receive an update on all the drivers? Because I definitely can get OTG working on my ALP HD, but I would imagine that would be pretty frustrating for people to either pay for it, right? Because they're charging people for this. And again, and the reason why I'm seriously considering just eliminating the at games thing with it, because the most frustrating thing with that is you have this window for these guys to update it and cause havoc on something you purchased and was working fine prior to that. That's very frustrating for a consumer. But even the fact that, I purchase tables that I can't access without being logged in, but they keep logging me out. I've not ever logged out by choice. Why does the ALP, the at games products, force you to log out and then force you to log? I think is paranoia on their part. They think, people signing in multiple machines, sort of like Netflix. People going to their cousin's house on their ALP and signing in, and they get to play. I would rather you just charge me for a particular device and stop logging out my machine, because I would be very, very upset if at games decided to close up shop. This stupid machine logs you out and you no longer can play the games that you purchased. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to log out a machine that has been authenticated and validated on their servers for it to force you to log out. And every time, like I said, it's challenging to get me motivated to play the at games games because they got those floaty balls. But because I have it, I feel compelled to play it from time to time. That's why I'm glad the Switch, I could play their box and just play some Switch. And then I don't have to be frustrated by the fact that I have to go log in again for the 1 millionth time to log into their machine to use the games that I purchased when there's no reason for those games to be unplugged. So that's just my rant. But Wonderland Amusements, they're going to be launching their Alice Goes to Wonderland Kickstarter soon. So definitely tune in. If you're watching this on replay, definitely go find P-Dub's show and watch that as well. I hope I was able to provide some interesting information regarding Pinball the movie. The Stellar Pinball is a stellar product, man. I can't wait to get that. I'll definitely be doing some videos once that comes out. It's designed for the OLED switch, but it works with the standard switch, which I have. So there's going to be a little gap near the back glass, so we'll see how that goes. But it's ideal and designed around the OLED switch. So just keep that in mind. They're expensive. They definitely are expensive. So this is, I got, again, they have two models. I got the 269, the Supernova, but I didn't even blink. And it's crazy how we are. We complain about things being this cost and that cost, but there's some things that, and we all are different and different motivations for us, that we'll find things that what's going on Cat Dad's Arcade. We'll buy the things we really enjoy. That can be more than the stuff that we'll complain about sometimes, right? So I am super excited. I'm not excited that they shipped it through the mail, because the United States Postal Service in town is horrible, and they'll either put it in the box up front or they may put it on your porch. But most of the time they're tracking, they'll say they delivered it, and that means it's going to come tomorrow and things like that. So I always prefer it to come UPS, because I have the best experience with UPS. FedEx, like I mentioned here with the backlash here, they just smashed it going to California, smashed it coming back. FedEx just do some terrible things. But I am super excited about the moon shot Supernova. Oh, I did want to mention also, they also have I'll keep clicking on the screen. They also built a topper for this thing. So they built a topper. Okay, let me just mute that. And you can go watch this again on their site. So they built a topper that comes in its own little crate for the pinball. And this thing is illuminated, plugs right into the existing system, like for mine. And then you just have this pretty cool topper that sits on the top of the pinball. So I may get this moonshot topper for my pinball table. So we'll see. Like I said, I'll be doing some videos once I receive this, playing some Switch on this thing here. Pretty super excited for this, and it was just available. Yeah, it's a mini pen, chosen one. I'll put links in the show, but the Cool Toy did a video on this right here back in about 10 months ago. Hello. I'm on the wrong screen here. But yeah, I'll put links in there. Cool Toy did it. It's called Stellar Pinball. Yeah, I understand that, but you'll be able to do the replay. But these guys are going to go live in a minute. So guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you guys over in the chat over at P-Dubs. Until next time, guys, I'll see you guys on the web. Peace. Yes, it is. You can play you can slide your Switch into this display piece, and now it becomes a full functional pinball with the Nintendo Switch as the playfield. All right, guys, I'll see you guys over at the P-Dubs live show. Peace.
Thanks for watching Detroit Love. Please subscribe to the channel. Like and share the video. We want to see and read your comments below. And until next time, I'll see you on the web.